Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Nati, and I am here to do a video that I've seen going around, and it's a tag. So it's basically you look at all your eyeshadow palette brands that you have more than one palette for, and you go through, and it's if you had to declutter one of them, which one would it be for each specific brand? So I thought that would be fun to do because one, I love eyeshadow palettes, and two, that would probably be the hardest thing for me to get rid of. So I figured it would be a fun little test, and I don't have to declutter anything, so that's the perk of that. So anyways, I'm going to start with probably one of the easier ones because I need to warm up into this. But the first brand is Urban Decay, and I think I've mentioned before, Urban Decay was the brand that really started this whole eyeshadow palette love of mine, this love affair. So it was back when I was in college and the original Naked palette came out. And everybody was talking about it, and I was like, I need to see what the big deal is about this palette. So I only have two. I used to have the first one, so the original Naked, for a really long time, and I beat it up, but it was kind of old and gross, so I threw it out. I have this one. Obviously, it doesn't look very loved, but that's because I knew they were going to discontinue it, so I got it. So anyways, I have that one, and then I have the Honey. And so from these two, just based on the amount of time that I've had a palette, I would probably get rid of the original Naked. I know that is like a crime against humanity yet again to declutter this one for a second time. But if I had to, that's what I would pick. So that was pretty easy. Let's go with Huda Beauty next. So I don't know if there are any specific rules, like if it has to be big palettes, little palettes, or what. But so I have the Huda Beauty. I think this was the original. They repackaged this one, but it's the, I forget what it was called, if it's the rose gold. But I have this one in the old packaging. I have the Mercury Retrograde, which I just got, and it has been fun to play around. And as you can see, I've jacked up that purple shade already. And then I have two little ones. So I have the Amethyst Obsessions, which you know from my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. And then I have this Sapphire Obsessions. So if I had to get rid of one of these, and it didn't matter if it was big or small, I would probably get rid of this one. This is also an easy one. But I really like this one, but I don't wear blues that often. So if I had to get rid of one, that would be it. So, two easy ones. What? Okay, let's get into the tougher stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do Sydney Grace. So I only have 3 palettes from Sydney Grace. I really love their eyeshadows. I have the Enduring Love, and this one is more of a cool tone palette. Hey, there I am. Woot woot. So this is a cool tone palette. It's neutrals, but it's got those jewel tones here too. So I really like this one, so I would probably not declutter this one. Then I have the Tiny Marvels palette. This one is beautiful, and it's got some colors, but some neutrals as well, so I really like that one. And so if I had to choose, I would get rid of this one, and this one is the Sydney Grace Temptalia palette. And this is also some jewel tones, and you can see I used this for the Pan Those Eyeshadows. But I like this one too, but I feel like there's more product in these other two. So that's why I would get rid of this one. But I'm glad I don't have to because I love all of them. I really just have 3 more piles to go through, so I'm going to leave the Colourpop for last. So Pat McGrath, I only have 2 palettes. Pat McGrath is very expensive. I got this one, which was not this past year's holiday palette, but the one before that. And the only reason I have this palette is because it went on sale. And so I was able to somewhat pretend to afford it. But it was like $60 instead of the 80 or whatever ridiculous price. But I like this one. It's got a lot of colors, a lot of shimmers. And then I finally got one of the larger ones. And this one was also on sale. Way more than anyone should ever spend on an eyeshadow palette. But I haven't even, I'll be honest, I have not used this one yet. But this is the Midnight Sun palette. And I have not used this one yet. So I'm just going off of amount of eyeshadows. So I think I would declutter this one if I had to. Granted, I haven't tried these shadows, so I could be completely wrong, but just based on like if I wanted to optimize the amount of eyeshadows that I have available to me and the amount of colors, that's how that would roll. So yeah, that might change when I actually get to try that palette, but that's what we're gonna go roll with. Natasha Denona, I have technically 4, but this one, I mean, it's a 5 pan and only 4 of the shades are available. So these are also pricey. However, I traded other makeup for this one with somebody I know. These 2 I got on resale sites, and actually I got this one for like 20 bucks, so that was a good deal. And then this one is the only one that I've bought brand new, but it was half off at Sephora. So I haven't really spent more than 30 bucks on any of my Natasha Denona palettes, which is awesome, and that is the reason why I have so many. So I have the Love, which is, if you haven't seen this one, I don't think this one's available anymore, but it's a perfect like February palette. I really like it. The Sunrise palette, the shade I had to fix, that's why I got it for like 20 bucks, because that one was completely shattered. The Bronze palette, which is one of my favorites. And then this tiny one, I don't even know what this one is called. I think it's just palette number 10. But, so if I had to declutter and this counted, I would probably declutter this one just because a shade completely shattered and it like fell into the other ones and they've been really hard to clean, so I haven't really used much of this. So if I had to do that, that's what I would declutter for that one. And we really just have one more stack, and this is going to be the hardest and also the cheapest stack ever. So Colourpop eyeshadows. So I really like Colourpop for the price. I've kind of been getting away from Colourpop because I'm getting tired of constant palettes being pushed out like every day, and it's the same freaking color story, but in a different order and different packaging. So they're really just selling you packaging, which is really annoying to me. It's like, change the formula, do something different. Like, don't just try to resell me the shades with different names in a different packaging. So anyways, mini rant over. So it's hard to pick from these. Hold on one second, I'm missing one more. I'll be right back. All right, sorry, I was looking down, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm missing a cutesy little palette. Where'd it go? So let me kind of show you what I have Colourpop wise. So I have the Hocus Pocus collection. This was limited edition. This is my favorite. This was the Gather Round Sisters, and it is my favorite for a couple reasons. One, I am obsessed with Hocus Pocus. When October 1st hits, that movie is playing all day, every day at my house. I know every single line, and I know when you see it as an adult, it's not like as amazing of a movie as when we were growing up, but I love that movie. So that's why I had this one. And also, I really like the color story. It's very kind of grungy, dark, vampy. I really like it. I even like the pressed shadow, like the pressed glitter, which I know people don't usually like. So, of course, I'm never getting rid of this one. Even once the eyeshadows, like, are gross, too gross to put on your eyes, I'll probably keep it because it's Hocus Pocus. Like, come on. So, this one we're obviously not getting rid of. Then I have the Big Poppy. I never thought I'd buy this, but my husband bought it for me, and it's actually quite enjoyable. It's all matte and kind of summery, fall-y colors. Then we have the Star Wars Mandalorian, and this one is so pretty. I love the greens. I love that it's like wearable, and you have Grogu on the front of the packaging. I mean, come on. Then we have the Tinkerbell one. This one, the packaging was really cute, and I heard a lot of people complain that like the colors don't go together or whatever. But there's some mauve tones and some greens, and I think they look beautiful together. Like, I like pairing this one with some of the greens. I mean, I don't really mind the color story, but I really like this one. And then we have the Stone Cold Fox, which is just a cool toned Humongo palette. So if I had to get rid of any of these, I am sorry to my husband, but I would get rid of the Big Poppy, just because I have colors like these in other palettes and I can't get rid of this cuteness. I can't get rid of this. And this one has like a ton of colors that you could use all day, every day, and never get bored. So for that reason and that reason alone, the Big Poppy would have to go. However, I am glad to say I don't really have to declutter any of these, which is good because I feel like if I really had to get rid of them and like give them to somebody else, that would be really, really challenging. So anyways, I hope this was fun. It was fun for me to kind of look at my stuff and see what, if I had to part with anything, what I would part with. And it's definitely harder. I think it would be a lot harder though if I did have to actually get rid of it. But anyways, now that I've got glitter all over my hands, I'm going to go and clean up and put all this stuff away. But thanks for joining me. See you next time.